The drought had lasted 3 years. The last well in the desert village had run dry, and the elders spoke only in whispers about the ancient legends. Beyond the endless dunes lay the silver mountains, shrouded in mystery and fear. No one who ventured there had ever returned. But the legends also spoke of something else. The crystal spring, hidden deep within those cursed peaks, flowing with water that could heal any land and end any drought. A young desert dweller, barely 17, and known for being the fastest runner in the village, made a decision that would change everything. With nothing but a leather water pouch, dried dates, and an ancient compass that pointed not north but toward what the heart seeks most. The journey began at dawn. The first 3 days were torture. The desert sun blazed mercilessly overhead, and twice the young traveler collapsed in the burning sand, ready to give up. But thoughts of a dying little sister and desperate parents provided strength to continue, one painful step at a time. On the 4th day, the silver mountains appeared like gleaming walls rising from the earth, their peaks wrapped in mysterious silver mist. The moment the rocky path was reached, the world changed completely. Temperature dropped suddenly. Strange whispers echoed in unknown languages, and shadowy figures darted between the rocks, watching from hidden places. Most disturbing of all, the path itself seemed alive. Routes that had just been walked would vanish, leaving only smooth mountain stone. By nightfall, the traveler was completely lost, taking shelter in a small cave and wondering if this would be the end. That's when the guardian appeared. She materialized like a ghost in the cave entrance. A figure with silver hair and eyes that held starlight. "You seek the crystal spring," she said, not asking but stating fact. "My village is dying," came the simple reply. "They need water." The guardian studied the young face for a long moment, then nodded slowly. "I am the keeper of the silver path. I've waited centuries for someone brave enough to make the true journey. But know this: the mountains will test not your body, but your heart." What followed were 3 of the strangest days imaginable. The guardian led along paths that existed only when needed, across bridges made of solidified moonlight, and up staircases carved from crystallized wind. At each stage, the mountains presented tests. First came the bridge of truth, where crossing required confessing the deepest fear, that perhaps this quest was impossible, that maybe there wasn't enough courage to save everyone. Only by admitting this weakness could the bridge be crossed. Next was the Valley of Mirrors, where every surface reflected not the traveler's own face, but the faces of everyone back home depending on this mission. Parents with worried eyes, a sister's trusting smile, the desperate hope of every villager. The weight of their expectations felt crushing until understanding dawned. Caring for others wasn't a burden, but the greatest strength of all. The final test proved most difficult. At the entrance to the spring's chamber stood a massive door that would only open when one question was answered truthfully. What will you sacrifice for others? Thoughts turned to a comfortable life in the village, dreams of seeing the world, plans for the future. Everything, came the whispered answer, and it was meant completely. The door swung open to reveal the crystal spring, a pool of water so pure it seemed to glow from within. But as the water pouch was lifted to be filled, the guardian placed a gentle hand on the young shoulder. "The spring's magic comes with a price," she said softly. "You can take this water to save your village, but you can never leave the silver mountains. You must become the next guardian, helping future seekers find their way." The heart clenched painfully. Never see family again. never hold a sister's hand or hear a mother's laughter. But thoughts of the dying village made the choice clear. I understand, came the quiet reply, and the pouch was filled with magical water. But then the guardian began to laugh, a sound like silver bells ringing. You would truly sacrifice everything for others, she said, her form beginning to shimmer and change. That selflessness has broken the ancient curse. Before amazed eyes, the guardian transformed into an ancient woman with kind, tired eyes. I have been trapped here for centuries, waiting for someone pure of heart to free me. Your willingness to sacrifice everything has proven that the spring's power should belong to all people, not be guarded in isolation. The old woman waved her hand, and suddenly the water pouch multiplied into dozens of containers, all filled with crystal clear water. Take these to your village, she said with a smile. The spring will now flow freely down the mountain, creating rivers for all who need them. As the journey home began, there was time to look back and see water cascading down the silver mountains like liquid starlight, flowing toward the village and beyond. The cursed peaks had become a source of life for the entire region. The return home was as the greatest hero in village history, but more importantly, as someone who had learned that true strength comes from putting others first. The drought ended, the land bloomed again, and the silver mountains were no longer feared, but celebrated as givers of life. And sometimes, on clear nights, when looking toward those gleaming peaks, there would be a smile, knowing that willingness to sacrifice everything had given everyone, including the brave traveler, everything they truly needed. The crystal spring still flows today, they say, a reminder that the greatest journeys are not to distant places, but to the depths of our own courage and compassion.